Roberts Paul. We're down here at Elevated Experience Camping with Willey West Campground, where we support Alberta camping and Alberta glamping. Today I'm here with one of our new employees for 2021, Kaylin. Happy you could join me today. And we're going to talk about something really exciting we have coming down here to the campground. We have decided to put in some raised garden beds. Twofold. These are going to be in the campground to support the program Operation Sasquatch, which is a food trailer for a youth employment program, as well as we wanted to make sure that our campers had an opportunity to also have fresh produce, because lots of us, when we go camping, we live off hamburgers and hot dogs and chips, and every once in a while it's like, geez, I really need just something fresh. And so this allows the campers to come in and get some fresh produce to add to their meals. One of the things we thought is Kaylin and I would talk about what are some of the benefits of having a raised garden bed. So do you want to go first, Kaylin?
Sure. The first benefit to raised garden beds is that there's no weeds. With the raised garden beds, it's easy to get in there and pull weeds, and it's just more accessible. So take that, bittercress.
Yeah, awesome. And then one of the things I like to point out is it's a little harder for rodents to get into your garden. If you have it flat on the ground, it's a free-for-all for any kind of wildlife. A raised garden, definitely like this one, will keep out the smaller rodents. And this one is actually not complete. It actually will go up to here, so it'll keep out the deer in the campground, because that, of course, would be a risk for us down at the campground, as the deer love to get into the gardens. And so you just sort of want to pay attention to where you are planting your garden and kind of what kind of wildlife is around that area, so to plan how high it should go.
In addition to that, not only is it good for wildlife, but it's also good for no soil-borne fungal diseases. If it's off the ground, it's harder for those diseases to come up.
Absolutely. And since we're still on the topic too, not only will wildlife get into it, but they will actually attack your whole produce. So when it's up off this, especially like rabbits and that, they will eat the entire garden all at once. So this prevents them from just being able to have a free-for-all.
Another great benefit is you don't need any sprinklers or drip systems. With it being up off the ground, you can easily water it.
The great thing about raised garden beds too, are you can pretty much use anything and plant them anywhere and be of any size. So you can put one on the deck, and because they have bottoms, again, it's not, the water isn't seeping into your deck, wrecking your deck or your wood. You can put them on the side. I've seen people put them on the side, the hanging ones off the side of a banister. Again, so they're out of the way, off to the side. So that is one thing that is really good about a raised garden bed, is you have options of where to put them and size-wise.
And another benefit to that is there's no backaches or knee problems, bending over, weeding, trying to harvest. It's nice and high, so you don't have any of those issues.
So one of the things that they also say about community gardens is that they help reduce negative community impacts by promoting sustainability, agriculture, reducing food transportation costs, and reducing water runoff. So basically, they really just help support. And one of the other things that I find they do is they bring community together and help give opportunities of learning how to produce your own food. Food sustainability is something that we all have to start to look at a little differently. And so we want to start promoting it down here. What are some other good benefits?
It also improves soil and air quality. So as you know, greens actually take in CO2 and release air. So it's a really good way to just clean our air and get positive vibes and fresh air all through the community.
Excellent. Another thing that it does is it can reduce neighborhood waste through composting. And that's actually something we didn't mention up until now. Part of having our raised garden beds and actually a greenhouse with our herbs and stuff, we actually have a composter, so we are going to be supporting that idea of composting down at the campground as well.
Awesome. Another benefit is increased access to fresh foods. We touched on that a little bit earlier, but we just want to make sure that everyone down at the campground has access to fresh vegetables instead of hot dogs and hamburgers. It's just a nice switch up when you're camping.
For sure. And then also another thing it does is when you grow your own garden, you do have a bit of food security. One of the things, as we all know through this pandemic, is we've seen the price of things fluctuate extremely, from toilet paper to gas to you name it. Ironically, last year we would buy poop bags for our stations for dog waste at $1.25. In the midst of the camping season, it went up to $12 because they couldn't be imported into Canada. So again, we've kind of learned that the unpredictability of life lately, and so that's something you can, for the most part, if you're paying attention, you can count on it, that you have that bit of food security for the garden.
For sure. It also really helps with your mental health and your just overall life. So gardening is actually a form of relaxation, and it can be really rewarding to start something from seed and grow it and take care of it and then harvest it. It's really rewarding to follow through with something, and it also improves your health. The things you put into your body is positively impacting your life. So if you fuel your body with good vegetables and good fruit, then you overall feel better as a person.
For sure. The other thing gardens do, and our raised garden we're hoping it'll do, is it's kind of a simple way to educate people when they don't realize they're being educated. So when somebody's in the garden and they're just getting carrots, it's a great way, or lettuce, come in and be like, hey, we got this kind of soil because we hear this mix helps grow this, and the sunlight coming down, and it's so easy to grow in a variety of different environments. Or this one you can take indoors during the winter and it'll actually grow. It's a great way for young and old alike to kind of educate them when they don't realize they're being educated. And that's my favorite form of education down at the campground, because people are here to relax and have fun, but I love it if they would also learn something from us as well. So the last thing we kind of want to touch on when we're talking about community gardens is how it helps societies and communities as a whole. Even if you don't do a community garden or you're not sure it's for you yet, there are definitely community benefits to it. So the first one is that community gardens are actually positively correlated to reduce crime in areas. And a lot of that is because there's more foot traffic, right? When some place has more foot traffic, often there's less opportunity for crime to happen. So that's a really good reason to put a community garden in your community.
Just adding to that, vacant lands, when there's lots of vacant land, you put a garden there, then it reduces the risk of crime.
For sure. As well as vacant land can lead to, people tend to get into more trouble when land is vacant, because when land is vacant, it's not paroled as much, or patrolled, not paroled. It's not patrolled as much. So therefore, people that are usually transient or struggling in life will navigate to those areas, therefore kind of decreasing the property value. And so that's not, nobody wants to live in a community where the property value is decreasing. So, garden beds are something that are so quite simple and fairly inexpensive to put in, but then can again help increase your community's property value as a whole.
In addition to that, garden beds actually raise economic opportunities. So you're hiring volunteers, you're going to farmers markets, you're giving out fruit and vegetables. It actually raises the economic value and opportunities to the community.
And again, kind of back to what we said again, but on a bigger scale, is it really helps educate a community too. And you can then really get to know your community members and pull from people that you may have not known have advice or expertise in an area to support the community garden. It's a great way to get a bunch of people together to sort of have one common goal. Awesome. Well, this has been Kaylin and Carmen at Elevated Experience Camping down at Willey West Campground, where again we support Alberta camping and Alberta glamping. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.